the Exiting the Matrix Empowered Living and Mastery Course readings. My name is Ayla Love. I wrote the Exiting the Matrix book and the Personality Workbook, and these together as a course, a journey to self-discovery. And I know it's backward, but that's because I need to be able to see myself. Because sometimes when you're recording, you literally think you're recording and you're not. So I was hoping I would be able to see. Why did this work yesterday? Oh, I am live. Okay. So I can see the words on my computer there. And oops. One moment. So I'm actually going to be reading. This way I can see if anyone's commenting and respond. Hi, welcome. So today we are going to be going over the personal core assignments. There are 4, I believe. So the first one, and I'm going to just read it, and then like if you want access to these questions, so you don't have to like fiddle daddle. You can go to the course. There's a link below, and you can sign up, and it's all there. So let's see. Read the following questions and journal about how you feel about yourself. Get to the core of why you feel the way you do. It can help you identify issues that you would like to resolve within yourself. How do you feel about yourself today? Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself healthily? Are you able to forgive yourself or others? What experiences in your life changed your perspective on something? Hello. Did something impact your beliefs and choices? Can you identify how you have been affected by societal expectations and how it has impacted your life? Has your belief system served you well? Lots of very introspective questions to think about. Assignment 2 is the self-inventory log. There are basic aspects of personality that each of us exhibits. They include extroversion and introversion, conscientiousness, neuroticism, agreeableness, openness to experience, creativity, honesty, imagination, confidence, compassion, loyalty, assertiveness, impulsivity, optimism, and empathy. This workbook can help you identify your strengths and weaknesses in your personality so you can focus on what you would like to improve. Welcome. Oh my Lord. The self-inventory log will help you identify your current knowledge of topics presented in this course. Complete an initial assessment now and again after you have completed the course. This will help you see where you are today, what you need to work on, and what you have accomplished. Use these terms for the following list of words or topics. So, there's 4. Unaware. Like you do not know the details of what the topic entails. Aware. You know what the details of this topic are, but you don't understand how to apply it to yourself or society. Personally aware. You know what the details are of this topic, and you know how to apply it to yourself, but not to society. Hello. And socially aware. You know what the details of the topic are, and you know how to apply it to yourself, and you know how the topic applies to society. So, write the date under the current level of awareness for each topic, then do a second review after you've completed the course to see your progress. And this is all online in my course for free, and there's a link below. Let's see. So, character qualities. traits, diversity, emotional quotient, ethics, intellect, lifelong learning, morals, oppression, principles, self-efficacy, self-actualization, self-concept, personality aspects, altruism, egalitarianism, neuroplasticity, philautia. We talk about all of those things in this course, and a few of them were already in the past couple weeks. So, assignment 3, I'm going to read through this, and then I will go through the comments and reply to anything that is pertaining to what I'm talking about. Your personality was shaped by your biological makeup, the environment you were raised in, your personal experiences, and your life choices. Identifying the many different pieces of the puzzle can help you see how you have become who you are today, and it can give you the opportunity to accept or reject various aspects of your personality that you do not like or have realized are factors that impact your view of others negatively, which can lead to discrimination and oppression. The personality snapshot questions will be spread out throughout the course. So this topic is about demographics and oppression. What is your sex? Do you like being whatever your sex is? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against or oppressed because of your sex? Why or why not? What is your ethnicity? Do you like your ethnicity? Why or why not? What is your skin color? Do you like your skin color? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against or oppressed because of your ethnicity or your skin color? Yes or no? Why? How old are you? Do you like your age? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against or oppressed because of your age? Yes or no? Why or why not? Assignment 4, self-actualization. Read and answer the following questions. What a man can be, he must be. This is the definition. What a man can be, he must be. This need we may call self-actualization. It refers to the desire for self-fulfillment, namely, to the tendency for him to become actualized in what he is potentially. This tendency might be phrased as the desire to become more and more of what one is, to become everything that one is capable of becoming. This signifies that there is a process that each of us goes through to reach our truest, fullest potential. Underprivileged people tend to believe that they cannot extend beyond the invisible boundaries that this system socially constructs them to remain within. However, each of us has the capability to be all that we can be on an individual basis, and the only person who can judge whether or not one has reached their fullest potential is the individual. This implies that we have the capacity to learn how to change our thinking, attitudes, behaviors as we move along on our own journey. Is this a new concept for you? Yes or no? What is your reaction to this theory? You could put a comment in the box. If you're paying attention, put a 1. I'd like to know how many people are actually gaining something from what I'm doing. Do you believe that you can reach your fullest potential? Yes or no? Explain. Lifelong learning is a natural process. Not all individuals are able to recognize this and stay within the boundaries of what the world dictates for them. Even if you understand these principles in one way or another, the social system does not meet the needs of everyone. What factors can you identify that are keeping you from progressing to your fullest potential? How do you feel about these obstacles? What steps can you take right now to overcome these obstacles? Abraham Maslow's self-actualization approach identifies these factors as relating to happiness needs. Without these values, a person will develop depression, physical ailments, etc. Check off the items that you believe you display in your life and ask someone close to you to verify that others see these same qualities in you as that you think. Okay, so I'm gonna say a quality, and then I'm gonna say the exact opposite. So, truth rather than dishonesty, goodness rather than evil, beauty, not ugliness or vulgarity, unity, wholeness, and transcendence of opposites, not arbitrariness, I think that's the word, or forced choices. Aliveness, not deadness or the mechanization of life. Are you just a robot? Uniqueness, not bland uniformity. Perfection and necessity, not sloppiness, inconsistency, or accident. Completion rather than incompleteness. Justice and order, not injustice and lawlessness. Simplicity, not unnecessary complexity. Richness, not environmental impoverishment. Effortlessness, not strain. Playfulness, not grim, humorless drudgery. Self-sufficiency, not dependency. Meaningfulness rather than senselessness. Do you agree with Abraham Maslow's self-actualization theory? Yes or no? Put that in the box. Hi, everybody. Hello. Yes, I could answer all these questions for myself for you if you really want me to. Collage vision board. So this weekend, I want you to find a piece of paper, like say just a poster board at Walmart, and start collecting pictures and words that identify who your ideal self is, who you emanate, who you want to be. Collect photos, words, pictures that portray you, who you are as a person, as it pertains to the personal core dimension. Use words in the word list and in your journaling to help you brainstorm different ideas. And we got the internet, so there's lots of words you can find. In each lesson, you will be looking for visuals to add to your collage. Be creative. Choose any sturdy medium that is 12 by 12 or larger. You can start putting it together at any time, but I recommend putting it all together at the end of the last lesson, after you've collected your words, photos, pictures. You can do it any way you want to. I mean, I created a collage, and it's pretty amazing. A lot of things came true that I put on there. And so you could do it at the end of each chapter, or you could wait to the end and then put it all together. But it's fun. I like it. So find old magazines that you can cut pictures out of. Draw pictures, write words, print words, take pictures, print them, whatever. You could even make it a 3D project. How was your experience doing the assignments in this lesson? So these are after you do these assignments, but what did you appreciate from this lesson? How could this lesson be improved? Did you think something was missing? What did you learn, or what will you change about yourself? And that doesn't mean that you have to change anything. It's just thought-provoking. Hey, do you like yourself? What do you want to improve? Is there anything, okay, so on assignment 7, connect and share. Is there anything you could share that could help someone else? Share what you're learning with people in your life. Join and contribute to the Exiting the Matrix Facebook group. share information, and or get support for others in the community. So I actually have a Facebook group called Exiting the Matrix, and it's if you go facebook.com, then it's Exiting the Matrix course. That's my group, and I share things on there about like positive advancements that humans are making in the world, and just positive things that are progressive, like. So that is the end, I think. Yep. Next week, I'm going to get into the spiritual core dimension, and that will be very interesting. So I'm going to just see what comments are on here. Am I a robot? I actually don't cry myself to sleep at night. I actually sleep 10 hours every day because I'm healthy. We get into we can get into circumcision in the physical core dimension because we're not talking about that right now. Yes. So one person said a man who is doing his true will has the inertia of the universe to assist him. Totally agree. I am not a robot. Thanks so much for your DMs. They made me feel special and loved. Unfortunately, I can't get married right now. You're hilarious. I don't even know who you are. Thank you. So we have 5 people in here. I just basically was reading from this course, and tonight was talking about the personal core dimension, and this was the personal assignments. So I just went through a whole long list of a bunch of questions to help you introspect on your own personal development, and I'm doing amazing. Thank you. This course goes into 10 core aspects of life, which are personal, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, sexual, relational, behavioral, financial, and legal. So, there's actually a core self-inventory that goes along with this, that is in, I don't know what day it was, but it's in the past 2 weeks, where I explain the core self-inventory, and it helps you like identify where you're at, how you feel about yourself in this moment, like it's a snapshot picture. And so there's that. Does anybody want to share anything or talk about anything while I'm online? So there are some links below. I have this course for free on my website, ayla-love.com, and there's also a link. There's a link tree. So like, if you are interested in having the free self-love guide, that's on my website. Also, if you're interested in being part of an inner circle where we can actually have a smaller group of people where we can connect and you can get that kind of support from me and guidance from me, or if you're interested in having one-on-ones to get personalized support, there's a link below. And if you are moved to support me with what I'm doing, it would be appreciated. This is my purpose. I put all of my love into this for humanity. And I know it's backward. But also, my autobiography is on my website too, if you're interested in reading my life story. Is running away from home considered a crime? Let's see, if you run away and you're a minor, your mother or father or whoever's responsible for you can call the police and report you as a runaway. And whoever is harboring you, whoever is providing a space for you, they're committing a crime. I'll keep talking for another hour if you give me things to talk about. Hello in Germany. I look like a casino dealer. Hilarious. No, I don't have a blackjack table. I added these lights yesterday. I was like, yeah, these would be pretty. So, if we don't have anything to talk about, I don't know what that means. So this is new for me to be doing lives, and I am actually also sing and dance, and like my daughter, she's like, you should start singing on lives, and I'm like, okay. She's like, you could use this background. I'm like, okay. So I do have songs in my YouTube. I'm divorced. I couldn't stay with men who were abusive, so nope. Homie, don't play that. Thank you. I mean, looks are not the most important thing to me. It is what it is. I did a lot of personal development on myself because I wasn't happy, and I write about it in my autobiography because it's a long story, but I had to heal the past because it's like I kept having to, well, let me explain. This and this and this and this and this and this happened. I don't need to do that anymore. And then I was thinking, wait, what if I write my autobiography, I could sell them for $10 each, and if I sold 40 a week, that would be enough money to replace a full-time job. This was in 2015. So and I was thinking of renaming it My Eternal Future Is None of Your Effing Business. Because I am a spiritual person, and in religion, oh, they love to, have you been saved? Oh, Lord. Yes, I've been saved. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Are you sure? Sure. Like, get away from me. I've already had the Bible thrown down my throat, or shoved down my throat. So, and I was in a religion that I was like knocking on your door. So guess what religion that was? You can be healed, and that's the beauty of it, is that I learned how to heal. And it's not really, I mean, it's not, I just came across new information that even makes it easier that I'm going to share. It's not even in my book, but you can heal. You can heal your DNA. It's called epigenetics. Another thing we get into is neuroplasticity. There's quite a few things that you can that can affect your mindset and your emotional well-being, and the the vicious cycle. Because I've been there. I've been in a place where I didn't even want to get out of bed. Trust me, my kids were like, I'm like, don't wake me up. They knew. They knew not to wake me up. Or take my last Dr. Pepper. I no longer drink Dr. Pepper. Yes, I learned how to heal. No, we're not summoning a demon. It's actually facing yourself and being true to yourself, because we all have lightness and darkness inside of us. And by facing your darkness, that's how you heal. That's literally how you heal the darkness. Like, sure, I have things that, like in the past, things that I've done or whatever, and it's like, there's so many different components, like it's self-compassion, forgiveness, self-forgiveness, forgiving others, all these very good qualities. And when you're mindfully living in the present moment, because like that's the thing, is like, if you are depressed, you're in your head replaying all these things. I've been there, okay? I know exactly what happens. You're like replaying all these things. You got in a fight with somebody, and you're like, oh, what do I? And it's a lot of energy, right? You're putting out. You're just like, okay. That is good to a degree, but it's the process of like sitting still. Okay, yes, these things happen. Now calm your thoughts and sit with it. I know it's hard, trust me, especially when you realize that the man that you love, or the woman that you love, never loved you. I have experienced that, and that is heart-wrenching. Another very traumatic thing that I experienced was I had a stillborn, and that whole experience killed me, and I had to learn how to freaking I had to relearn to be a nurturing person. Like, not that I became a violent, aggressive person, but it, like, that natural instinct, because I was depressed. I didn't have anything to give, so all I wanted to do was get back to who I was before that all happened, and I did. And it's a process, and like, there's a lot that goes into that. It is not, it is so alive. What are you talking about? Yo, funny. Yes, I'm live. I don't think you can fake lives, can you? It does. I have a friend that I've mentored her from 30 years, at least 30 years, I was mentoring her. And yeah, it does feel awesome to help. And it's interesting how after 30 years, I had to put my foot down. It's like, listen, hey, I'm going through stuff right now. And I can't take all your shit. I can't, or not shit, I can't take all your stuff. There needs to be a reciprocal thing going on. She got mad, and then a week later, she's like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for telling me that, because now it is more reciprocal. And, forever I could do that. I didn't care because I was okay. And then recently I wasn't. And now she's in a position where she's like able to help me, and she's feeling that she's just so like excited to be able to help me. It's like tables turned. It's a beautiful thing. Girl, I got you, or boy, I don't know. I'm literally, I want to help people heal themselves. Like when I healed myself, I wasn't even, so 2015, like I kind of had a feeling that I was going to write a book about education. Like I felt like that was like how we're going to save the world. And then I went on a 10,000 mile journey across the country to find myself fully. I don't want to repeat myself because I've said a lot of things in previous videos, but basically, I got off track. Hello from Kiev. Yes. So after, like in 2017 is when I felt like I truly 100% healed. And that doesn't mean you're never going to have things happen. But now when things happen, I can deal with it faster. I have, it's all set up in my mind and my heart and like how it works. And now with this new information that I got, kind of brings me all the way back to when I was 15. And if you can recall a time when you were at peace, recall the time. Hopefully you had a time. Because I remember when I was 15 years old and I'd be laying on my bed and I'd look out the window and I'd see the green trees against the blue sky, and that's me. I'm a poet. I wrote a poetry book too. So like, I just remember seeing the sun and the trees and the grass, not the grass, but the sky. It's just gorgeous. And just how I felt was just completely at peace. I'm 15. I didn't have bills. I didn't have to worry about paying rent and all that stuff. But even now, and I didn't have any pain in my body either. And if you stick around, you're going to get all the information to help you understand, like, you can literally heal your body physically. And so sometimes when I'm doing a meditation, I'm like in a deep meditation where I'm literally like in my 15-year-old body and pain disappears. I do exercise, I do stretch, I do eat good, so there are different components to it, and I exited the matrix of this whole societal, like, oh my god, the food. Please use the Yuka app, YUKA. It has a little carrot, and it will tell you how hazardous the food is that you're eating. Because I didn't know, we think we can trust corporations. God, I thought I could trust. I didn't think it would be that bad. Like, sure, we know that this is junk food, but we didn't know how bad it was. So I have a little step ahead, because when I was raising all my kids and going through all kinds of depression and stuff, I don't eat when I'm upset. So I didn't eat a lot. And So I didn't eat all their crap a lot. You can't, okay, whatever. This is a live. If you want to call me, I'll give you my phone number right now. 30 years? Ah! I'm 54. And I have 5 children. Truth. A trauma healer. I healed my traumas. I consider myself an energy healer because it is all about energy. It's all about your energy. And let's see, what was I just... I'm always learning something, so I have lots of notes here. There was, who was that? Oh, David R. Hawkins, Levels of Consciousness. That's some deep stuff. I'm actually going to sing that song, Jesus Loves You. I do love that song. Yeah, I know the whole system is, and that's what I'm trying to help. Like, just look at education, okay? If people knew what I knew, if you know what I know, okay, I just know some things, and I'm just in there like, education. I homeschooled my kids, not all the time, but when they started getting in my business, I did. I took them out. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of problems. I'm not Turkish. I'm Irish and Norwegian. Yeah, homeschooling your kids. I tell anybody. I wouldn't even have kids right now. Look at what's going on in the world. But young people know everything. That's actually normal for teenagers. And then we are in a society that says that, well, you're 18, so you are an adult, and you get to make all these decisions, including voting and getting married. And guess what? The frontal lobe, not developed. Especially if you were in public school and your parents didn't teach you anything. Because the frontal lobe doesn't get developed until you actually develop it, which requires studying. And it takes time. And that actually brings me to the fact that, like, I used to blame my parents. And, oh, it's my religion's fault. Oh, it's my parents' fault. Da, 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 da. I went through that phase too. And guess what? You can't really blame your parents because they weren't taught either. And their parents weren't taught either. So, it's accepting what it is. 5 kids was a lot. I had parental burnout by the time after 25 years of raising kids. But they're amazing. It's funny how they're all so different. You know pretty much which is true. Yes. I'm aware of what's going on, and it saddens me, and Sometimes I have to take the weight of the world off my shoulders because it's not my job to save everybody, but I want to. I would love to make the world a better place. Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. And it started, like, I think I was going to say this earlier, but it's like, I thought I was a healer, okay? It's more like, it's more like showing you how to find the light within you. So, like, I've gotten into relationships where the guy just wants my light. Like, dude, get your own light. It's in there somewhere. Find it. Because that's the truth. And it's through the darkness that you find it. And if you need any help while you're going through all emotional stuff, if you make sure you have a backup plan, because, like, I'm not a therapist. Okay, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, but I don't believe in that industry. I didn't go to school further because they didn't even really help me. So they helped me understand life. They have helped me understand human development, but they didn't help me heal. The Aryan genes, I'm not sure what that is. I mean, I was told it was from Lemuria. Some crazy stuff. But these letters are so little on my computer. Maybe I can make it bigger so I can see it. No. So, you have my attention. Anything you would like me to talk about? Welcome. This is the Exiting the Matrix Empowered Living Mastery Course readings. What would you like me to talk about? I'm not a therapist. I'm a transformational guide. If you want to transform your life, I did all the work. I know what it takes to do it. Which one? So on my YouTube, I actually started doing readings from my autobiography. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll read from this. So my real name is Dorothy, which means gift of God. It's a beautiful name. But who I am, like, Ayla Love is my spiritual name. Anyway, Dorothy married for love the first time around, so now she thought she'd marry using logic because marrying for love didn't work. Surely, you wouldn't think this would be the worst mistake she'd ever make. Within 1 month, I became pregnant. Everything went downhill, spiraling out of control. I got a blood clot in my femoral vein that went misdiagnosed for months. My husband became someone I did not know. A true Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde scenario. I started spotting and I went to see the doctor. They told me that I was having a miscarriage. I went home and put myself on bed rest so I wouldn't lose the baby. We were so sad and we cried together. One day I turned over in bed and I felt something pull on my groin. That was extremely painful. I was having morning sickness and the pain hurt so much that I couldn't walk on my left leg. I went to the doctor and they told me that I had a left inguinal strain, which is what mailmen get from walking too much. I used crutches to get around and had to use a wheelchair at the convention because I was a Jehovah's Witness. What kind of conversation is this? Somebody asked me to talk about my ex-husband. This is the chapter about my ex-husband. One day, I was so distraught over my situation, I wanted to get on a plane to go see my parents, who were living in Texas at the time. In order to get on the plane, though, I had to get a signed doctor's slip. Yeah, this is the boring part. All right. And I don't feel like reading that right now. Unless you want me to keep going. But that marriage was, ugh. Do you want me to keep reading it, or do you want to talk about something else? Who wants to talk? Or share, or ask a question? Okay, something else. What's up? Billy Bob Bruce? Hey, welcome. My favorite drink? This is really not about me like that. This is really about this and this. Exiting the matrix. So, if we're not going to talk about healing, then I'm exiting the matrix of this conversation. We're talking about personal development, personal healing. If you want to ask a question, I'm not your doll to nirvana meditation. Well, I had an experience that I guess you could say it was an out-of-body experience, where I felt like I was being like I was meditating. I surrendered to God because my son was coming home telling me how I was going to die at Armageddon. And all of a sudden, while I was meditating, with my eyes closed, I was just filled with the brightest light inside me. And it was like that white yellow light, like an angel, like it was inside me. And I was like glowing. I felt like I was glowing. And then I was like getting downloads, and I felt like my whole body was purified. And then I had a vision of a throne with angels and no words. All I could hear, or all it was love and acceptance. And from that moment on, I never doubted my worth in God's eyes. Never questioned anybody's opinion about me, anything. Who is your God? Let's get back to this. My eternal future, my spirituality, like, it doesn't matter who my God is. Like, I mean, I would say source, Christ consciousness, connected to all that is. It was an amazing experience, to be serious. I mean, that's when I actually created the core self inventory when I was in school, and it was the beginning of my healing process. A phoenix. So I'm going to get into the spiritual core dimension next week. So Monday through Thursday from 7 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, live here. I'm going to be getting into spirituality. What about atheism? I mean, that's we'll get into spirituality next week. That would include atheism, because that's a belief. Right now we're talking about personal development. Hello. So, everything is energy. God is energy. I mean, honestly, if you're an atheist, if you're denying energy, I don't really think you can deny energy. I think people just see things in their own perspective, and it could mean the exact same thing. Like, whether it's God or energy or divinity, but do you like BWs? I'm not even saying that. Why do bad things happen to nice people? I'm a nice person. A lot of bad things have happened to me, so I can answer that. I mean, it's not like clear cut, but it's basically like because I'm very nice. I'm a light energy, so in my past, I've been attracted to the tough guy, right? Well, that tough guy, he never did the work, the internal work. So then I went through a whole bunch of trauma trying to help him drain me. So what was the purpose? Honestly, when we make poor decisions, there's something we have to learn, okay? So, like, I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, I learned discernment. I'm never going to be in a relationship like that again. Ever. And it's interesting how people, like, guys, if I'm like, no, then they're like, oh, you just think you're all that. I mean, I think that I know what I don't want to deal with. So why do bad things happen to good people, honestly, we're strong enough to deal with it, probably, honestly. Which is difficult and challenging. Thank you. It's so interesting. So, anytime ego takes over, ego, you can sense that energy. That's run away. Ignore. Like, literally, I'm ignoring any egotistical, like, I know. You know, like, I know for me. You, I can't say I know more than you, or my perspective is going to work for you. That's why there are multiple people that you can choose from to listen to for guidance. And humility is important. So, thank you. No. I think that lifelong learning is something everyone should become. You should become a lifelong learner, because when I was when I was in school, when I was a teenager, I would be reading a book, and I would be like, "Oh, I can't understand. I can't comprehend it. What?" And I have to read the sentence over and over. That I had a learning disability. And then when I started studying the Bible every day for 13 years, I mean, it happened faster than that, but then I started building my brain muscle, because that's what you have to do. If you don't build your muscle, then yeah, you're not going to learn. And once you do build it, look what you can be capable of. I mean, none of this is AI. This is all me. And when I was in college, I was like a speed reader. Like, I could read a whole chapter, which is like 35 pages in a week, where it was like not easy reading, very deep. So, what advice do you give to women who are in a situation like in your old relationships? Be true to yourself. I mean, everybody's situation is going to be different. You know, I have separated and divorced. I'm divorced 3 times. I separated from my second husband 7 times. And the reason I would separate is because I was a Jehovah's Witness. And so I had a lot of guilt and people judging me. Like, if I didn't have that, I would have divorced him. If there are a lot of things, but so you have to look at your own situation. And, you know, like, I left because I felt like I wanted to die being this man's wife. I went back because I was trying to do the right thing for my children, for God, for, you know, and so when you have to be true to yourself about why you're even in the relationship. And, you know, honestly, it can be really difficult if you're poor and you don't have enough money to get away from people. And this year, so my last relationship, boyfriend, he, we were together or we were only together for like a year and a half out of 4 years. But I was financially having issues, so I would leave. Anyway, I traveled to Minnesota. So the final finale was, like, this really isn't working. This is like, I got in my car and lived in my car for 2 months last year in April and May. I would rather live in my car than be next to somebody who is toxic and affecting me. So I think that answers that question. It's like, what can you handle? If you can't handle it, yeah, find another way. I mean, my journey of being married and divorced 3 times, my first husband, I was 17 and he was 26, so actually he's a freaking pedophile. But that's a whole nother story. I was just immature, and my parents emancipated me. So I'm out like hopping couches, like friends and cousins. So basically, and because I was a teenager, I thought I knew everything. I'm smarter than my parents. So I don't really blame myself for that because I was young. I divorced him because he cheated on me, which, oh, no surprise, because he cheated on his wife. He was married. I didn't know. Yeah, long story. It's all in here. So then, so there's reasons. Okay, so then my second husband, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do everything the right way. I'm gonna only marry in the Lord and not have sex till I get married. And I did that. So that marriage was the worst marriage ever. Like, he told me to call him. He's like, you know what? You should call me Lord, like Sarah called Abraham. I'm like, do you not even understand that she called Abraham Lord because she felt it in her heart? Because he did something to make her that happy to give him that title. Okay. I mean, that just gives you a little glimpse of what that relationship would be like, okay? No. There's a lot of abuse in that relationship. So, yeah, I thought, oh, we have the Bible, how can it go wrong? So, I don't blame myself for that. And I actually cheated on him at the end. Well, it depends who you ask, because we were separated for a year, but we were still married. And I wanted him to never talk to me again, and because I was a Jehovah's Witness. This is what happens when you're like in survival mode, okay? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this so that I get excommunicated from my religion so he can't talk to me. It didn't work. Okay? And then the third husband, I felt pretty good, but I still had a lot to learn about myself. I shouldn't have married him. And you're going to make poor decisions, especially when our educational system doesn't equip us. So it doesn't matter to me what anyone thinks about me. I don't care. I care about how I feel about myself. I care about how my kids feel about me. But even if they were to like become my worst enemy, I'm not going to care, because we all live once in this, I'm living once in this body. I have 5 kids. 3 divorces. I am happy and grounded. I would get married again, but no, I would get married again, and it's gonna be the right person, not what I've dealt with. I have 5 kids. Rent free. Almost rent free. What does that mean? That's funny. Are you on here because you want to date me? Or because you want to learn how to heal yourself? I mean, I cheated. Is it cheating? I'll ask you. This man had put me through hell, okay? We were not together for a year. And then I thought if I cheated, then I would get excommunicated. You know, it's not your typical, like, you're in a relationship and then you, like... Okay. Lost everybody. There's one person left. And now we're going to end this transmission. Okay. Listen, I'm not here just to be if I leave, you'll be upset. Well, everybody left. I'm not here to, like, date, okay? I'm here to share. And if you have something to say, more people will join. Okay, but people are joining and they're not getting the whole thing. I honestly believe that this course could replace AA because it doesn't say you have to believe in God or whatever. It helps you find your own truth. Hello from Georgia. I do believe in God. I didn't say I didn't believe in God. But if you are a Christian, then you understand Paul. He became who he needed to become in order to be heard. He had to become something so that he could be heard. So I am not a Bible preacher ever, but I can quote you some scriptures if you want me to. 1 Corinthians 3:16. I am the temple of God, and his spirit dwells in me. And that's true for everybody. I have an accent from Minnesota. Nice. I've not been to Australia. Mm. What mistakes should young people avoid? Don't get married too young. I mean, don't even, like, have friends. Find yourself first. That, we think that we're supposed to, like, get married, have kids, go to college, whatever you think you have to do. Find yourself first. Like, have friends, have boyfriends, but don't commit. Enjoy your life. Find yourself. Develop your frontal lobe. Because here's the bottom line. I married when I was not full. I was not a whole person. I did not know myself fully. So if one person, and then the other person didn't either. So now you got two people who aren't fully developed getting together. That's why our divorce rate's 50-50. Okay? 50%. You got 50% chance. I heard it's getting better, but it actually goes up with every subsequent marriage. Okay? Because you just keep going, Guilty. So, yeah, the next time I get married is going to be with someone who has done the work. And I don't have to explain anything. In fact, he's going to explain something to me that I missed. So, yeah, enjoy life. Don't rush. You always need Jesus and the Bible. So, in America, we're going to get into spirituality next week. And we can have all kinds of talks about that. But in America, 70% of Americans are Christian. So, why do we have homeless people? Why do we have starving children? Why do we have homeless children? 70% of Americans are Christian. I was helping a homeless woman once. I was just standing there talking to her. I had brought her food or something. And along comes a Jehovah's Witness walking down the street handing out a pamphlet. Just hands her a pamphlet. I'm just like, how is that helping her? Yeah, no. We have to do something different. Right? I know. There's so many things that are just messed up in the world. It's like, so many ways you can exit the matrix. Then exit it. I mean, how? Like, which aspect? Because, like, that's the name of my book, right? Exiting the Matrix. So on one hand, it's exiting. This is like, this course is like level 1. The inner. Then there's going to be level 2, where it's like literally exiting. I mean, I've exited like the food industry. I only eat whole foods. We get into that in the physical core dimension. Spirituality, religions are all fighting. They all think they're the truth. 1 Corinthians 3:16, I am the temple of God and His Spirit dwells in me. So it's like releasing attachment to, and like even the 9-to-5 job, I have never subscribed. I'm like, what the? I don't like alarm clocks. So exercise, something that I learned after I felt like I healed myself was I I learned about fascia and how you literally are, the emotional trauma is stored in your fascia. Fascia is it's the connective tissue between your muscles and your bones. So, if you got pain in your lower back, if you got pain in your shoulders, it's trauma, chronic stress. So you can literally, I just looked it up the other day, or yesterday. I was like, show me all the places in the body that, and what traumas and what's representing. So, yeah, you store your trauma in, I mean, your body just naturally stores trauma in your fascia. So you have to like work, you have to exercise. While you're doing the emotional work, meditation is so important. We should be teaching that to our children. And it's not like what everybody, like, it's not like you have to like be completely not thinking. It's just more about calming your nervous system. Because we're just like, you know, especially watching TV, or you're, think about all the, whatever you're putting in your brain or your eyes, there's going to be an effect on you. And then the people you're around, then you're just going to walk away and go, so how do you calm your nervous system down? Yes, you can if you are always on top of your stuff. And then if something happens that you weren't prepared for, you can get totally knocked off your block. But understanding the grieving process is so important, because when something bad happens, grieving process is not just for when someone dies. The grieving process is if you lose your job, if you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, if your cat dies, if you bought a brand new pair of pants and got a hole in it the next day. The grieving process is just like anger, denial, what if, bartering, and then sadness, depression, and then ultimately it comes to acceptance. So it's like the faster you can get to acceptance, the better. And like, you know, some people, they've lost their partner, their life partner, and they hold on to the pain of their loss for years and years and years and years. And I've lost my father to death, and my mother, and a friend, and friends, whatever. And all I can say about that right now is simply keep their spirit alive with you. Nice. I bet. I'm reading this post. He's a diver, or yeah, Benny. A diver, and he's under constant pressure changes. So yeah, the compression of body tissue giving him the ability to overcome psychological trauma. I bet. Yes. Yes, use anger to your advantage too, in productive ways. Nice. What are the traits of a good woman? Um, Well, kindness. not being materialistic. You know, how does she treat animals? How does she treat the waitress? You know, and one thing that you can ask yourself is, like, people are always like, my last boyfriend. He was, oh my God, it was so annoying. He's just like, I. There was no you. There was no. It was all I. I'm like, can you just stop? Yeah, not shallow. Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're all different. So what you might like in someone, that's the thing, is they have all these boxes. Oh, you fit in this box, so you can't do that, or you can't want that. You know, you can meet a biker. In fact, I know one, a biker who loves to garden and do yoga and can light incense and have all his crystals and stuff. It's actually adorable. This is not Scientology. This is not a religion. I'm not pushing a religion or a belief system. I mean, I got facts. Energy is everything. And it's scientifically proven how energy actually it's everything. Everything is energy. So when you understand energy, then you can apply it to yourself. So this course gets into that in let's see, what chapter is that going to be? Actually, it's next week. The topics are spirituality and religion, spiritual practices, energy forces, vibrational energy, and then exploration, breaking free, and assignments. So next week's going to be all about spirituality. This channel is about transforming the world, making the world a better place, and doing what I can, sharing the knowledge that I've gained over my life to help others. This is actually labradorite. My daughter bought this for me. I'm not sure what these are. I think these are labradorite too. Yeah, Scientology and Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a worse one though. There are worse ones. Nice. Oh, I can talk in here. I didn't know that. What's the point of that when I can just say it? Looks like a palace. You like my dragonfly? Do some research, then you will know how they got that power. Hello from Abdul in Pakistan. I'm in Florida. Thank you. Who get donations? Where do I sit politically? Guess what? In this book, I got 10 core dimensions that are important in life, and politics is not one of them. I didn't even know the difference between a Democrat and a Republican until I was like 35 years old. Because being raised Jehovah's Witnesses, we didn't vote. I have voted, but I also think that there should be an education program that you have to pass, or just at least like you did it, to have the basic knowledge. I think that that should be in place before people vote, just so that they know what they're doing. And honestly, the voting that really matters is in your local community, because that's where the laws actually get put in place. And a lot of people don't even realize that the judges, if you get a good judge, like they know they can change the law, because their verdicts set a precedence. So that's who you need to pay attention to, because honestly, I think it's all a big show. And like president stuff, like vote for me, just, oh my gosh, lying people. So I believe that exiting the matrix personally, like, I mean, there's stuff going on in America right now, and I'm aware of it, and I'm sending love to anyone who is suffering and dealing with any of that BS. But that's why we all need to come together energetically, physically, and support each other. That's just what I think. So thank you. Don't be falling in love on a video. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I believe in free speech too. But we all know I think YouTube's pretty good about allowing free speech, but take that energy and go inward. Like, you need to love yourself. Do you love yourself? Because that's what's important. I was actually thinking about going to the Gold Coast because it's warm there. It's cold right here. The source of energy is me. Pure energy. Well, I don't have the financial means to do that. I don't even have a passport yet, but I will get one. You're not used to seeing the back of the computer? Oh, now what happened? Oh, seeing the whole back of the computer. Yeah, I've never done this before. This is week 2. No, I can't see. I have contacts on. I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, 3rd generation, and then I was a rebel when I was 15, and at 16 my parents kicked me out to be homeless. And then when I was 23, I went back to the Jehovah's Witnesses, got baptized, got married, and I was a devout Jehovah's Witness for 13 years. And I was knocking on doors and reading the Bible every day, studying every day. And in 2007, after I had a stillborn, I asked the congregation, I was separated from my husband at the time, I asked the congregation to help me get my kids ready for meeting, because I have 5 kids, and we dressed our children in suits and dresses to go to the meeting 3 days a week. So they said they couldn't help me. It's my burden. So I just stopped going. And then so much truth came out about them with the Australian Royal Commission and them getting sued for how they were handling pedophilia in the congregations, getting sued, get their ass sued. So I left that religion in 2007. I got disfellowshipped in 2009, and yep, knocking on doors. Yep. How can one be a nice husband? First of all, I started writing a course for men. And if you're interested, if I get enough interest, I will totally do that. One really simple thing is this. Okay. I'm talking about America. I don't know how other countries are. I'm going to guess similar. But women are allowed to feel all their feelings. And then they get labeled crazy. Men, you only get to feel the anger and the toughness and the blah, blah, blah. Okay? So, when a woman is talking about how she feels, you don't know how to handle it. That's what you need to do. You need to be able to understand that feelings are feelings. They come and go, and being able to talk about them is so important. In fact, men need to tap into their feelings, because it's okay to have soft feelings, like feminine feelings, whatever. So if your wife or your girlfriend is crying and or she's even mad at you, she's in her feelings, give her a hug. She needs you to love her. That's what the whole point of being in a relationship is, to be loved. And that's one of the problems. People just don't even know what love is. There's 8 forms of love. Well, 7. If you want to include mania as love. I don't. There's 7 forms of love. So it's letting go of ego. Like, just because somebody is mad at you or has feelings about something you did, buck up. Like, it's okay. Get through it together. You're supposed to be a team. Loving each other. So it's really finding out why it's going sour, right? Why, just being supportive to each other. 1 to 12 hours. So please stop talking. You reached your limit on talking. That's so hilarious. This is called YouTube Live. And I get to talk as long as I want to if people want to listen. Isn't that how it works? Come on now. Do you really need to be educated? Hello. Shout out from Russia. You have, you, Jace, you can leave. You don't have to listen. Nice. Wesley. Yeah, but we learn through our mistakes. Right. Benny. Trying to read these little tiny letters. Yes, ego is a huge factor in toxic relationships. Right? Do I think my exes regret losing me? I know one does. But he was a crackhead. Lying the whole time. So, see ya. That is another point of, yeah, I left anybody I was ever with. I was the one that left because it wasn't good for me. We're talking about healing, self-healing. This is the books that this whole live is based on. Welcome. It's not about what I look like. So I am guilty of yelling, and that, like my last boyfriend, let's see. So at one point I realized that when I was yelling, I was reacting because I wasn't emotionally mature, and I didn't understand, like I didn't realize that what he was doing or however he was acting, just because he says something, like what I'm saying, like love each other, it's hard to love someone when you're not whole. So I realized that I was reacting to whatever he was saying to me, allowing myself to get sucked into the toxic. So being able to go watch somebody just do this, and then you just stand there and you're like, you know what? Bye. I'll talk to you when you talk to me with respect. So that takes, time, but at the same time, it's like I have yelled because it was warranted. Like my ex-boyfriend, we were arguing, and I was like, get away from me. And he basically was like, he grabbed me to hold me, to hug me, and like in the movies, like some romantic movie. And I'm like, you need to get the off me. I said, I need space. And he got pissed off. I'm like, you don't even understand. you're disrespecting me, and it's actually a crime. It's actually a crime. It's called kidnapping if you're holding someone against their will. So, right. Humans like to chip away at other human souls. They have the misconceived notion that it makes them feel better. I mean, some cases, like I just said, is like I've had to be like I it would be called righteous indignation if someone is purposefully disrespecting you in your home, in your face. You know, you have a right to stand up for yourself. But I mean, it's as simple as you need to get out of my house. Just get out of my house. Hi, Courtney. I'm sorry your boyfriend hung up on you. I know it's hard. Relationships can be very difficult. I've been told, Benny, I've been told that I'm cute when I'm mad, and it makes me so mad. Oh, I got pictures of me mad. Like by the end of that last relationship, I literally was like, nope, never again. Well, I learned that I didn't like one of my exes, but I was very sad about a different ex because I did like him when he wasn't an ass. Okay, why do some women cheat on genuine nice guys? You know what? I don't know. I'm not really tapped into the whole, like, we'll get into sexuality in the next, let's see, in the future week, I'll tell you. Oopsie. That's going to be week 7. And right now, we're on week 2. I would actually like to create my own Zen sanctuary where I can do retreats and help people. I look tired now. It has been an hour and 43 minutes that I've been on. The topic of week 2 is the personal core dimension. So this whole week I've been doing lives, and it's Monday through Thursday at 7 o'clock. So this week was personal core dimension, influence and perception, breaking free personally, and yeah. Nice. Yes, please subscribe, like my videos, and I have links to the course. You can do it for free. You can follow along and use this as an opportunity to come and ask me questions, because I don't mind being on here longer than it takes to like read it. But I do want to be focused on the topic, not about what I look like or anything like that. This is really a space to like help people introspect. Hello in Brazil. Nice. Yeah, it's if your boss is pushing boundaries, mm, can you find a different job? Can you go to human resources? Can you, find what can you do? Is there someone you can talk to at the job, or are you stuck? Like, because I worked at a job and he was so annoying, I didn't go back. I wasn't being respected, and the energy was just killing me. So I was like, ugh. Thank you. I think I'll get very annoying for you. I am not a Scientologist. You know what they believe? They believe that if they believe you can't drink coffee or tea, you can't drink anything warm. I'm like, that's so dumb. Oh wait, no, that's Mormon. Scientology, man. If you get into Scientology, they don't let you leave. They're gonna kill you. No, I am not a Scientologist. Right? I hear ya. Do some meditations while you try to find something else, maybe. You want to reduce the size of my heart? I think the world needs it. Summarize a few concepts for week 2. Influence and perception. Basically, you are influenced by everybody that you're around from birth. The first 5 years of your life is when your personality was developed. And then whoever raised you, whatever country you live in or community, all of those standards are placed on you. Then you have television telling you, and then the educational system, everything is like telling you who you are, what is, right? So, and then so that just goes into our perception of the world. So when you do research, you learn about how there's actually a whole tribe somewhere in the world. I can't think of what it's called, but the positions or the roles in the marriage are opposite, where the man is the one that stays home and takes care of the kids, and the woman is the one that is the provider. So it's maternal, it's more of a maternal structure. So it's very rare for anyone to leave the religion that they were raised in. because it's all you know. All your family is that religion. So in order, to leave something that is, in your whole family, now you're going to have to deal with, being the black sheep, or not being true to yourself, possibly. I mean, usually people don't switch from being a Christian to being Muslim, say, or Muslim to Christian. And, I mean, unless you're being true to yourself and you are doing research and open to different things. But usually, if you're a Christian, you're a Christian for the rest of your life. So this went into exploration of self-esteem, and let's see, just different qualities and nationalities, the difference between ethnicity and nationality. Ethnicity is there are 5 ancestral lines, and then everybody is made from those 5 ancestral lines mixing, some way. So how important it is to just recognize that we are all amazing, beautiful beings. We don't argue about the fact that there's 40 different kinds of oranges, okay? Do you see anybody arguing about why are there 40 different kinds of oranges? We shouldn't have 40 different kinds of oranges. So relate that to humans. Why do people argue about the skin color, about the differences in culture or nationality? So, we all have our own worldview, right? So the things that I learned in my life brought me to a point where I'm able to share what I know, my worldview, and it's working for me. And so really it's just, it's encouraging other people to do the inner work, to heal their traumas, to break free from anything not serving your higher purpose. I would actually like to make real money. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I have a Bible-trained conscience because I was a Jehovah's Witness, and they are Christians. I would say that overall Jehovah's Witnesses are kind people in general, good people, and I learned a lot of skills because they teach you how to study. They really make you study. So that's actually a really good thing because it made me have to use my brain. I gave my first talk in front of a group of people when I was 8 years old. So I'm like, yeah, that's why I can talk in front of people. I can sing in front of anybody. I can sing in front of 1,000, 10,000 people. And so there's actually a link below that brings you to my website to support my work, because I would really appreciate it, actually. Thank you. I'm responding to T-Bird. I didn't celebrate my birthday till I was 40 years old. So, did I say my educational background? Yeah. And then, yeah, bachelor degree in psychology. And then just a lot of personal research on healing modalities. Well, you can watch my earlier videos because I do say how old I am. Yes, I know about Jung and Freud. Thank you. Oh, well, if you were to donate, it's going through my website on my website. Yeah, my mother. Oh my God, I have a whole story. You want to? I could talk about the whole Jehovah Witness thing. That's literally part of this book. This is my autobiography. I explain what it's like to be a Jehovah's Witness in this book. What I went through, what it's like. My grandma is still a Jehovah Witness. That's what someone said. You're trying to do the math. Haha. Yes, they can. Can the brain of an angry, abusive person be rewired to become a nice person? They can, if they want to. So, there is a gentleman that asked me to help him become a good person. And so, for a year, we spent a lot of time together, and when his family saw him, they were like, "Who are you?" Because he was a biker dude, tough guy, blah blah blah. And yeah, he didn't like completely 100% change, but he did what he wanted. And so rehab. Mm. I do not work in clinical psychology. Exactly. Yeah, I talked about that earlier this week. It's like the psychological industry. They have to put something down to diagnose you for insurance purposes so they can get paid. But then you walk away with a diagnosis thinking that's your lifelong sentence. And then not even getting any help, really. I've talked about that in the past 2 weeks too, because that topic does pop up. So, do I always psychoanalyze your past partners? Well, I'm sharing my life experiences because someone else might get something out of my story. So, I'm not psychoanalyzing them. I'm sharing the truth. Yeah, I agree. Cringe. Crazy. Well, some people are uncomfortable with love. It's okay. um, you can't touch me. I am untouchable. So, this has been 2 hours that I've been on here. So, I think that's a good place to stop. And I will be back on Monday. So, please like, share, subscribe, all the things. And you can purchase my autobiography on my website, link below. You can get access to this. It's free. Link below if you'd like to donate to support my cause. It would be appreciated. Link below. And if you want one-on-one, link below. And if you want to join the inner circle, then that would be actually starting right now, because the goal was to do it after Thursday, at the last, after the Thursday session, then we would go into on Patreon. So I know the letters are backward because my camera is facing me, because a lot of times I've done videos and then they basically like stop recording or something happens, and then I can't tell, and so yeah, they're backward. It's okay. Have a good night. Much love, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Be safe.